Peter loves talking about cookie opt-out procedures, really getting into the details of how effective UI design can be implemented to make this process easier. And he's going to talk today about another great option on today's Not So Critical Update.
I don't think I've ever had an intro from Mike that hasn't been some level of sarcastic. So thanks for keeping up the trend, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Sure.
So I've been out of the UK for a number of years, and I'm about to put the blinkers on and ignore what my home country has been up to in terms of politics and digital activism and all this, I don't know, privacy and human rights and all that kind of stuff. And I've been back for a few months, and oh mate, I just this kind of shit just makes me remember why it was that I left in the first place. So the UK is looking at they because of Brexit, they're no longer beholden to the EU's GDPR and all that kind of stuff. So they're like, oh, we've got to do our own version now. So listen, guys, they've sat down and had to think about it, and they're gone, right, you know what we should do? We should have a way to stop people tracking, but we should have it as like a browser option, like some way that you could signify that you do not want to be tracked. And then that would make it really simple for everybody. And oh my God, it's a brilliant idea. Yes, let's spend a lot of money making this into an online bill. And and they end up with shit like this. Yeah. It's so dumb. It's like...
It lets them make a lot of noise about passing big legislation. It lets them create this big project that needs to be monitored and regulated and have money behind implementing it, while at the same time not actually doing anything to change the privacy violations in the first place. So it's really a perfect storm.
And to cap it all, do you know about the do not track HTTP header?
Mm-hmm. The one that's ignored by everyone. Yeah.
Yes, this is. If you know, when you have a big project like this and governments like to do a sort of proof of concept, trial, a kind of limited user, let's see if this works. This has been extensively tested over decades, and it does not work. It has proven to not work. It doesn't make any difference. So it's kind of like they've come up with this great solution, which we have very solid proof it's going to fail.
Meanwhile, Firefox is in the corner saying, "We already did this."
It's like someone coming up with a new system of government and going, "Do you know what? We should make we should share ownership, like as a community." We could call it, I don't know what, like some sort of commune. I don't know. We're still thinking about the name later, but we could all have this.
Reinventing the wheel.
Really
reinventing a broken wheel.
Yeah, reinventing the square wheel. That's what they've done. They've gone, yeah, this is going to roll. It looks perfect on paper. Yeah. It's symmetrical. It won't cost very much. Yeah.
This led me then to another article about the UK's online safety law, which I think we actually talked about before. And this is like, I felt angry about this article because I like the idea of individual responsibility, potentially criminal liability for CEOs, for individuals within the tech companies. However,
it's exciting.
The way they did it kind of I've just found to be very frustrating. It's that balance between, in the US, we would look at it as the balance between censorship and free speech. We simultaneously want these platforms to be totally open free speech platforms that I can say any terrible fucking thing that comes into my mind, while simultaneously holding them responsible to moderate their own content if they say anything that I disagree with. And I felt like felt like the spirit of this law. Am I off base, Peter?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think you're right. It's kind of like they want they want someone to blame, which is obviously not going to work because if there's not this nice balance of, well, have they followed the correct level of reasonable defenses against things? It's not reasonable. And it's headline grabbing. It's what it is. I think a problem with the UK government at the moment is they go after stuff that sounds good and is completely infeasible and doesn't actually make any sense.
Vote hunting or vote farming. Yeah.
Which, so we just talked. A story we just talked about was Blizzard, Activision Blizzard. First
yesterday, because I absolutely published this in order. Yes,
it was
maybe
definitely
tomorrow.
Yesterday. Maybe tomorrow. There's
Guaranteed
still room for it to be tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway,
probably yesterday.
It's just like it's movie level bonkers stuff. It's stuff that you wouldn't expect to see in real life. This is the same with the UK government entirely right now.
It's all performative.
Boris
They're
Johnson
just saying it for the show, the theater.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what that just reminded me of, Peter, is The Big Short. You guys seen The Big Short? It's about the 2000
long time ago.
Yeah.
So
right.
It's like it's a movie that's meant for like people like us who don't really understand the high level finance jargon. So they do a really good job on breaking it down. But it's still fairly technical. Like they explain how these how basically all these mortgages caused the financial meltdown. That's really an oversimplification of an oversimplification. And you're watching this and you're like, this is too real to be, it's like too fiction. Like it's too much.
Yeah.
I don't understand
how
many layers there was behind just mortgages. And it's like, this is what it feels like. We're like 2022. It just feels like everything is too fiction. Like what's going on pretty much all over the world. Like Sri Lanka, they have run out of food. That's just one example. Like we are in 2022, technologically most advanced we've ever been. No food in Sri Lanka, by the way.
Yeah, we have quantum computers now. We have actual quantum computers.
Not in theory anymore. They teleported a bit. They did it. They teleported one bit over to another place. But we don't have food in an entire country. Multiple countries. Sri Lanka is just the one I read about. Like, this is absurd what is going on.
So
there was a book called Abundance. I don't remember who wrote it. I'm just going to look it up in real time.
Look it up live. Why don't you look it up right now?
We do like doing it live.
The point of the book was that we don't have to worry about shortages in food and climate change and all these things because advances in technology are going to solve all these problems for us. But we do still struggle with the realities of we have to move things around the world. I don't know who it was. All right, whatever. Michael Ward. No, I don't know who it was. But we still, we have right now, we're having all these food shortages in the US. We can't get baby formula, diapers, sanitary products for women. Like grocery sections of the grocery store will just be like picked clean on different days of the week, depending on where you live. Not because we don't have the technology to solve these problems, but because physically we have to move a lot of things all around the world. And we just don't have the capacity and coordination to do that right now. Thanks to, there was something that happened over the last 2 years, like all these businesses had to be shut down. I think that really had a major disruption. People want to forget about that and just think like,
wait.
You can't just
hang on. It's on the tip of my tongue. What is it?
No. It still seems so weird to me that everybody in the world, no matter who you talk to, all three of us, like different parts of the country, different parts of the globe, all had that same experience. I think that's so interesting.
Yeah. This will drive, to bring it back to technology, because that's what this show's about. This is going to drive, because we have another article that's going to touch on this today, yesterday, or tomorrow.
But we may have already have had another article.
No, it will. I will tell you exactly when.
So
I don't trust you, Mike.
I believe that this will drive all these shortages of manpower and supply chains is going to be the main driver for a mass wave of autonomy.
I hope so.
Mm.
I really
Well,
hope
do
so.
you? At the same time, some things are gonna. This is gonna cause some big problems. So, what if every
What story
ship,
talks
right,
about
because
that?
none. I'm just talking about. Well, to give a teaser to our viewers, the Amazon running out of
Oh.
workers.
Okay. Got it.
So
That's gonna be 2
what if
days from
every
now.
ship? Oh, 2 days from now, or
Written in
yesterday.
stone.
So what if every ship? What if every cargo ship was autonomous? And not only that, the offloaders and onloaders were autonomous.
Every
And the
truck
supply
driving freight
routes-
across the U.S.
Exactly.
Could we then finally give them a holiday?
True. But this will also cause some major pains in some of the biggest industries that heavily rely on individuals to drive those industries. And then you have to ask yourself, how do you solve that problem when no one has any work anymore?
UBI,
Because, yes, UBI is
UBI.
definitely the answer. UBI is 100% the answer.
universal basic income.
Good luck arguing that in every capitalist country.
Because
Yeah,
what's
it
really going to
sucks.
happen
I really-
is they're going to automate all these tasks. They're going to
Yep.
drive the cost down. They're going to fire all these employees, and they're just going to put the money in their pockets
Mm-hmm.
because
Of
that's
course.
where it goes, and that's what solves all the problems.
I have a constant
Yeah,
urge
capitalism.
to leave the country that I'm in because I find myself feeling claustrophobic and just oh man, I gotta get out of here. But at the end of this conversation, I'm genuinely wishing that there was another planet I could go and live on where we could all just start again. You know, it's
I often fantasize about, well, Peter hasn't read this book. We've been talking about it for 1 fucking year, but I often fantasize about in Mana,
ooh,
it's called Australia Project. That's like the utopian
Yep.
socialist UBI. Everyone gets to live happily ever after. I often fantasize about a version of that on some big island. Australia is too big, but on some big island, like the size of, I don't know.
also not
Texas.
an island.
Peter wants to make a promise he won't keep. Hold on.
Yeah, here we go.
No.
Here we
I'm
go.
going to make a promise. So I want a pizza for this. If I read Mana in the next 3 weeks,
Okay.
We're not.
I will. I'm going to read it. I
You
have it
don't
on my
get a
Kindle.
pizza.
First of all,
Going
you
on a
won't
very
read it,
long-
and you're not getting a
That you
pizza.
said you were going to do a year ago. By the way, Marshall Brain's the author. Mana, great book. Go check it out. Love the guy.